Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom. Today I'm talking about starting some seedlings and just a little couple of hints here. I'm going to be doing some tomato seedlings, but what I'm talking about you can apply to just about any of the smaller seeds. Those might be things like lettuce, some of the Asian greens, tomatoes, other things that you want to start that are really small seeds. So I'm going to take the camera, I'm going to flip it down so you can kind of watch my hands for this. You've all seen enough of me anyway, so let me show you what I'm doing here. So I've got a tray. Let's get this down for you. So there we go. So this is a tray. I've got Johnny's 512 mix in here. So this is a 50 cell tray. Well, I'm using the Johnny's 512 because I just think it's one of the best seed starting mixes out there. I've had incredible luck with it. It doesn't really need a lot of nutrients in terms of feeding until your plants get a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to be planting today are these 871s, actually, I should say, BHN 871 F1. So it has a little bit of disease resistance, and that's what I'm planting. I'm just going to do a couple of cells here. And a couple of things. One is do not overseed your cells because you just got to take these seeds out anyway. And one of the things I like to do is kind of make like a little, like a little V here. And I just use my finger and I tap. And eventually the seeds will kind of line up. And it takes a second, there's no doubt, but I can see them kind of coming down into the little groove. And then I'm just going to tap until I get, and this is a fairly new lot of seeds, so the germination rate will be very high of these. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So I've got 2 seeds in there in each of those cells. We'll put that aside. Here's the thing that I've been doing lately is I'm using some of this vermiculite. And vermiculite is a really nice medium to kind of just cover your seeds very lightly. So we're just going to put a little bit of vermiculite on there. Now, this vermiculite that I used is a little drier than I like. I tend to like to moisten this a little bit before I put it down, or you could just use a little spray bottle and put that down. And then I always label my cells because I will have no idea what these things are because there's 50 of them. So we've labeled the cells, put the little bit of vermiculite down, and then we're going to use the cover here, and that cover will keep the moisture in. We'll put this on top of a heat map underneath grow lights. You got to have the heat map and the grow lights in order to do this successfully. It doesn't mean that you can't get things to germinate without those. You probably can, but your seedlings are going to stretch. They're going to be leggy. It isn't the best way to do things, but using the vermiculite, Johnny's 512, we've got the seeds in there, and we can just go down these rows and get everything seeded in. I will then, once these get mature, with their first set of true leaves, I will take out and only leave 1 plant per cell. And that's the key. A friend of mine had, I'm not exaggerating, like 9 tomato plants in each cell. And you can't do that. You're going to cause disease. They're going to be really stressed for nutrients, and you're just not going to have healthy plants. So you really want to be sure to only have 1, maybe 2 with some things like lettuces you could get away with and then break them up when you put them in the ground. But I really like to have just 1. It keeps them quite healthy. So just a couple of little tricks. Remember, we used the seed mix and then we used the vermiculite to cover the seeds. We labeled. We want to keep this evenly moist with the hood over it. We're not going to have to water for a while, but eventually once the seedlings do germinate, I always water from the bottom, and that helps to prevent damping off as well. So hope that was helpful for those of you starting seeds for the first time. It is fun. It's fairly easy. Do not overwater. Let things dry out. One of the big mistakes people make is they water these things to death. They get damped off. In other words, the little stem kind of rots right where it meets the soil, and then your seedlings will die. So let them dry out before you water them. Have a great day.